They call it Wall Street Candyland. A place where every ticker is a lollipop and every trade is sweet. But they don't tell you about the cavities in your sanity. They don't tell you that the sugar is poison. Yeah. Staring at the screen, it's another day, another fight. Candlesticks are painted green with the toxic blinding light. Got a parabolic runner, an irrational machine. Everybody's chasing, living out a FOMO fantasy dream. But I see the truth behind it, read the volume and the pace. This whole entire rally's built on nothing, empty space. So I'm aiming for the fall, yeah, I'm betting on the pain. I hit the button, short position, going straight against the grain. Heart is beating out my chest, 100 ticks a second. Every dollar up against me is a lesson that I've reckoned with the demons in the market, with the greed inside the lies. I'm just waiting for the moment that the sugar castle dies. Take me to VW land, I'm fading from the high. This price is built on nothing but a sugar-coated lie. Take me to VW land before my profits die, before they hunt my stop loss underneath this blood-red sky. Yeah, this ain't no candy land, it's a war inside my head. Just need that one rejection, leave the bulls for dead. Take me to VW land, escape the sea of red. On my P&L is screaming, fill my soul with dread. They're trying to squeeze me out now, feel the pressure and the heat. Algorithm bots are running, trying to signal its defeat. But I'm watching order flow, see the sellers build a wall. They're absorbing all the buyers, getting ready for the fall. It's a psychological battle, more than numbers on a chart. They want to break your spirit, want to tear your plan apart. They want you second guessing every move you ever made, till you're chasing your own losses in the sick financial game. But the RSI is screaming that it's way outside the bounds, and the volume's disappearing, making hollow empty sounds. So I hold on to my thesis with my finger on the mouse. This ain't a faded castle, it's a fragile house of cards, a paper house. They call it the magnet, I call it the truth. In a market that preys upon the ambitious youth, I'm addicted to the chaos, the risk and the gain. A glutton for the punishment, a sucker for the pain. This candy land is poison, but I take another bite, just praying I can make it back to safety for the night. And take me to VW land, I'm fading from the high. This price is built on nothing but a sugar-coated lie. Take me to VW land before my profits die, before they hunt my stop loss underneath this blood-red sky. Yeah, this ain't no candy land, it's a war inside my head. Just need that one rejection, leave the bulls for dead. Take me to VW land, escape the sea of red. On my P&L it's screaming, fill my soul with dread. They call it the magnet, I call it the truth. In a market that preys upon the ambitious youth, I'm addicted to the chaos, the risk and the gain. A glutton for the punishment, a sucker for the pain. This candy land is poison, but I take another bite, just praying I can make it back to safety for the night. Take me to VW land, I'm fading from the high. Yeah, this one's for all my bears out there. You see that chart? Going parabolic. You know it can't last forever, baby. There's only one place I need you to go. Listen. I've been watching you since the opening bell, casting your hypnotic green candle spell. You're flying so high, way above the mean, the most overblood chart I've ever seen. I clicked the sell button, girl, I'm shorting you now. I got a feeling you're about to turn around somehow. My stop loss is set, but my heart is beating fast. This beautiful setup, oh, I need it to last. Oh, won't you take me to VW? Yeah, that's where I need to go. Oh, baby, take me to VW. Bring that price down nice. nice and slow. I see the seller stepping in, knocking at your door. Just a little healthy pullback, that's all I'm asking for. So take me to the bubbly boy, 'cause girl, I wanna see that profit and more. The buying volume's fading, oh, it's getting weak. You're trying to push higher past the morning peak, but those little red candles, they're starting to show, telling me a story that all the bears know. Don't you fake me out, girl, don't you start to squeeze. Just look at the indicators, baby, won't you please? Don't you break my heart with a new high of day. My profit target's waiting, it's not that far away. Oh, won't you take me to the bubble pole?
Yeah, that's where I need to go.
Oh, baby, take me to the bubble.
Bring that price down, nice and slow.
I see the seller stepping in, knocking at your door. Just a little healthy pullback, that's all I'm asking for. So take me to the bubbly boy, 'cause girl, I wanna see that profit and more. The buying volume's fading, oh, it's getting weak. You're trying to push higher past the morning peak, but those little red candles, they're starting to show, telling me a story that all the bears know. Don't you fake me out, girl, don't you start to squeeze. Just look at the indicators, baby, won't you please? Don't you break my heart with a new high of day. My profit target's waiting, it's not that far away. Oh, won't you take me to the bubble pole?
Yeah, that's where I need to go.
Oh, baby, take me to the bubble.
Bring that price down, nice and slow.
See the seller stepping in, knocking at your door. Just a little healthy pullback, that's all I'm asking for. So take me to the bubbly boy, 'cause girl, I wanna see that profit and more. The buying volume's fading, oh, it's getting weak. You're trying to push higher past the morning peak, but those little red candles, they're starting to show, telling me a story that all the bears know. Don't you fake me out, girl, don't you start to squeeze. Just look at the indicators, baby, won't you please? Don't you break my heart with a new high of day. My profit target's waiting, it's not that far away. Oh, won't you take me to the bubble pole?
Yeah, that's where I need to go.
Oh, baby, take me to the bubble.
Bring that price down, nice and slow.
See the seller stepping in, knocking at your door. Just a little healthy pullback, that's all I'm asking for. So take me to the double pie, 'cause girl, I wanna see that profit and more. Yeah. They call it the magnet, the line of control, where institutional money can make a trader whole. I ain't asking for a crash, I ain't asking for the floor. Just come back to that average, and I'll be out the door. That volume weighted price, yeah, it's looking so sweet to me.
Come on, baby, sell it off.
Oh, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down for me now. Oh, baby, take me to the double me. I gotta cover my short, don't you see? Oh, I see the seller stepping in, knocking at your door. Just a little healthy pullback, that's all I'm asking for. So take me to the double way, 'cause girl, I wanna see that profit and more. Take me there, baby, oh, to the VW ring. That beautiful golden line on my screen. Come on, just a few more ticks, yeah, that's the way. Let me see that green.
They sell you the dream, don't they?
They call it Wall Street.
All right, traders. Perfect fall. Thank you so much for those songs. Made not only the day, especially when SNGX did me dirty, made the week. That was too good. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go on tour with this song. Both of these songs, Perfect Fall, excellent. He's got some skills. This Perfect Fall. I know you're a software engineer. Excellent work. So we got a good one for you tonight, and stay till the end because we got the $5,000 account giveaway that we're going to be doing. But we got the gang in here tonight. And guys, what a week. I mean, what a week. We have a special guest here tonight, and I'm going to bring her on here in a second. I'm real excited for you guys to get to meet her. I want the crew to really, for us to do this every Friday. I want you guys to be profitable. The green team, not ironically, I want the green team to be green, right? That shouldn't be shocking. The green team's green. I want to do this more often with you guys as we're getting paid out, getting funded, and staying motivated, keeping that momentum moving in the right direction. So our special guest tonight has been trading with Trade the Pool since April and has seen a lot of success recently. I think she's really dialed into her edge. We're going to ask her about it. We're going to hear from her and hear her story. But what she has had, and these are facts, is a 95% consistency rate on her account. And I'm excited to dive deep on that. So guys, give a warm welcome to the Green Team Trader, Music in the Market, also known as Bernadette. Bernadette, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited to do this. I mean, you have been you've really dialed in your edge, and you've been doing so well. And I know you've been eager to talk about this because you emailed me this morning. You got family and friends who don't want to hear it, but you want to hear it.
Yeah, I got family and friends that's sick of hearing about the stock market. So, this is a lonely walk sometimes, and when I was looking for some information on YouTube, I stumbled upon your channel, and it was just such a refreshing thing because it was so honest, and it was starting small, and it was something I could understand, and I just loved it, and so I always come back to it. And Kevin, you the man. I just like I said, you've been doing it a long time, and when I was watching you do it in the small with C Pro, I went ahead and got a C Pro account, and then I really realized how hard it is to grow a small account. I really didn't realize that, and then of course I was trading on Trade the Pool, and I just said, I'm gonna really try to trade, with their capital, because I was running out. Mine was. It was every day I was losing more and more. It was crazy. And so I jumped in the Trade the Pool, and I was blowing up accounts left and right. But, at $100 a pop, it was a lot cheaper than trying to grow an account on C Pro. So I just kept, re-upping. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, which is why that's a 95%, it's 95% because when I get down to when I was blowing them up, I would start over. I must have about 6 accounts right now that are just sitting there, but I would start over and I would see what I did wrong the last time, and I would just try to perfect it and correct it. And that's how I started getting up at 4 a.m. and that became my edge. 4 a.m. is it, because there's not a lot of volume, but when it goes up, it definitely comes down. And I just learned that at 4 a.m., if those stocks start popping, they usually drop and retrace. They go up again. Like by the time you guys get on at 9:30, I've already made the money and I'm done, or either lost it, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're diving into pre-market. I was going to ask you that. I mean, let's dive into that pre-market. So why pre-market? I mean, why not market hours? Why 4 a.m.? So how do you lean into that?
Well, because when I realized that the market did open at 4, I felt like if I got up early enough and started watching it, then I could kind of see the rhythm of the stock. and see, how it would move. And by the time 9:15, 9:30 came, I would kind of have an idea of how it was going to move. But what started happening was I realized I could jump in and out really quick. Some of them stocks you never see because they pop up, and by 9:30 they're gone. They're not even on the top gainers list. But I've already made a few dollars off of them, and so I started seeing that I could do that. And I was at first started on a $25,000 account like you guys, and I would ride those stocks up, and because I didn't really know how to trade, I was just getting in and riding them up, and sometimes they would take off and I would blow up, but sometimes they would drop right back, and I might be able to do that 10 times before 6 o'clock, and I would already have $200, and then I would trade at 9:30 with you guys, and then I would lose the $200. So if the longer I stayed, the worse I did. So I started realizing if I can get $200 every morning by 6, 7 o'clock, just leave it alone, walk away or trade on one of the other accounts. And so that's kind of how I realized that I kind of had an edge in the market at 4 a.m.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about those entries. As far as those trades go, do you go single entries? Are you scaling the plays?
Yeah.
How do you go about that? And when you're in the profit, do you take like a single exit? Are you scaling out, leaving leftovers? Talk us through that.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a leftover was until I saw you. No, in the beginning, I was one entry, one exit. But then I started watching some videos and seeing people how they were building a trade, building their position. And so I started going in small, real small, like maybe 20 shares, just the feeler. And then if it would shoot up, I would kind of see where it was landing, and then I would go in with 100 shares. And then every time it would go up, every 10 cent or so, I would add until it just started weakening, and then it would just drop, and I would be so happy because it might drop 20 points, and next thing I know, I've got a winner. And that happens consistently at 4 a.m. It really does. If you ever get up and see it, you would be amazed at what's going on because, like I said, it pops up on the scanner, and then it's gone. You didn't even see it at 9:30 because
Pops up, then poof.
yeah,
you're
because
gone.
I think an algorithm, the algorithm for whatever reason, maybe it shoots it up. I think they're set up to buy a certain amount of shares at open. And sometimes it's a mistake. It's based on news, maybe keywords, and it just automatically buys that stock and it shoots up, and then they find out later that it was no news or anything driving it, and then they sell off.
Okay, I want to ask you about risk management and pre-market. How do you go? I mean, okay, so yeah, I see that smile. It's
There is none.
well, with a 95% consistency rate, I imagine that you see so much winning that you almost expect it. I mean, so how do you go about the 5% of the trades that are losers?
Yeah, and when I lose so big. Even on the interview day, like I said, that was a bad day. I can't remember what that ticker was, but it just kept going, and it shocks me because I'm so used to them popping and dropping that when they continue on, and a lot of times with no news, if they don't have any news, I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna drop. I'm just gonna give it some time and some room,
Mhm.
and it's a mental stop loss because I can't, there is no stop loss in pre-market. So I just wait. And most of the time I'm right. And that's why it's not my 95% rate. It's really the ticker. These tickers are so consistently dropping, popping and dropping. This is how I'm getting them. It's not like it's a technique or that I'm, such a great trader. It's really that's how many tickers pop up and drop at 4 a.m. And I'm just moving from one to the other to the other, and so my stop loss is really a mental loss, and I didn't even have one. So if it ran, I couldn't sometimes even get out because it went so fast.
Yeah, I like what you said about you go from one to the another to another to another because uh, a lot of traders we like as traders. I mean, sometimes we want to let our ego trade and we want to try to predict or prophesy what's going to happen next. But ultimately, it's a matter of letting the edge work itself out through repetition.
Hmm.
Like, let's go from this ticker to this ticker. We know with this edge that you're trading, it has a high consistency rate,
Right.
95%. So you got to make sure. I guess if I was trading your this edge in the morning, like my concern would be the outlier. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
just make sure the outlier doesn't get out of hand, and because honestly, in a few more minutes, something else is going to pop up, and my edge is going to
Right,
work itself out through that trade.
right. And a lot of times that's what happens. Like I'll be in a trade and I'll just hold it, and I might be in drawdown $600-700, and I'm like, I can't lose $600 or $700, so I'll hold it because I know that another ticker is coming that's going to take the attention away from that one, and as soon as another one pops, that one drops, and I mean that drawdown turns into a $40 profit. And so when Michael was talking to me, it sounds ridiculous because it's like, why would you risk that kind of money for $40? And it's like, I don't know. It was I was so confident that this thing is going to drop that I just wait. I'm very patient, and it does. It never fails. It just drops. So
Yeah.
I know I can't continue to trade like that. Somebody put in the comments on that video that it's not sustainable. And like I said, it's not those. But I noticed in a month, like this month, I have 4 red days, and they were big. They were like $800. Because where I am, I can get $1,000 drawdown a day, and so I've had 4 of those. And even in that, I still had profit of $5,000.
Yeah.
So it adds up. But I gotta go when I go in. I gotta go big so that when I take that loss, it'll cover that grand that I lost on that one day.
Yeah, now I feel that because my strategy too is sizing into euphoria, and I mean sometimes even
Like
if
today, I
you'll
was watching you, and I was like, I watched it later, and I was like, Kevin, you should have been going in bigger. You could have came out today, because you did good with that. I mean, you held on to it, and you did the hangover thing, and it worked out. But you were in small, so
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I'm generally, I want to size up. I'm generally trading small though, going for the $100 days. I'd set the max loss to $200 on the day, which I'm thinking as you're talking, like maybe that would be useful for you to prevent like those
yes,
outlier days. Maybe set your max loss on the day to like, I don't know. I mean,
200, yeah.
something a few hundred at least, and so, I mean, you're making more than that some days, right? Three,
Yeah.
four
Oh
hundred
yeah.
dollars.
When I'm profitable, I'm profitable. Like today, I did 568. And this was before 7 o'clock. Now, before I would sit there and by 11 o'clock it'd be gone because I'm over trading. Now I get up and I leave it alone. So that helped me. But also putting a real hard stop on myself for the day of $200 or 250 is what I need. But let me just say this: when I got the payout, which I got a payout, I didn't even know I was going to get a payout because I thought that once I passed the evaluation, soon as you pass, they give you a different dashboard. And so the next challenge was $5,000. And so I thought I had to get the complete $5,000 before the withdrawal button would turn on. And so when I got up, I think it was it was Monday. When I got up, the withdrawal button, I had took a trade and then the withdrawal button popped on. So I clicked on it, and it said that I could withdraw like $3,400. And I was like, what? Oh no, this can't be right. So I went on with the process, and it kind of made me nervous, and I'm like, no way. And so I was trying to put in $1,500, and I ended up putting in 1050, and it went through. And I was like, so I can get a payout now? And I was waiting for an email or something to say, no, you got to get the entire $5,000, but it didn't work that way. I was able to withdraw whatever I had in that particular challenge for 5,000. So I went ahead and took 1050, and I got that. So I was like, when that happened though, it got real, and I'm like, now I know I'm not going to be risking a grand a day. That's just stupid. And so I'm going to be real careful now because I realize every 14 days, I can get a payout, and the money became real. And so, like today, I lost two, but it was like $15. I got right out as soon as it went against me. And yeah,
Those trades today you didn't want to scale. You just got out immediately.
I got out immediately. Yeah, and
Okay.
I used the the candles that are, is it Hakanashi?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I use those, and they really, if you ever look at them, they look different, and they change colors immediately. So as soon as I get or if I'm going short, as soon as one of those candles turn green, that first green candle, I'm hopping out. So that's my new idea about how I'm gonna get out of the trade now. As soon as I see that candle, um, being red, I mean green, because I'm mostly shorting. I'm just
Mostly shorting. And so when did you get started shorting?
by accident. I was taking a challenge, the very first one, and I was at almost $1,500, about to pass, and I hit the wrong button, and I was in a short, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out, and I lost about $600 that day in that one trade because I just didn't know how to go back in and buy, to get out of it. And so that was my introduction to shorting. And then I realized I was trying to follow Ross Cameron. I had joined his group and all of that, and it's impossible as a new trader to try to, trade with him. But what I did learn is, as soon as he's getting out, I was getting in. And I used him to learn how to short. So every time he would get out of a trade, I'd jump in and ride it all the way down. And I just got used to seeing it and really seeing when those stocks get ready to start weakening to get in. And I
Yeah,
got good
I
at it.
mean it's interesting. Like that's why I love shorting. It's reacting. You can be kind of late to the party. You're just
Yep.
waiting for the predictable setups to develop and the FOMO traders to jump into it. You can see it in the wicks, even in pre-market. I'm sure you
Yep.
see it's like these things are just they're having irrational like upticks, and you're
Yep.
just taking advantage of that inefficiency and riding it on the way down. It's
Mhm.
it's beautiful because you're not having to predict. That's why I love the transition from longs to shorting. As far as day trading goes,
Yeah.
I can see the longs on the swing side of things, but on the short side, we're just kind of kicking back and waiting for the action to come to us. We don't
Yeah.
have to predict anything.
Yep. And like I said, you're really good at looking at the 200 moving average. I saw you watching it today. I can't remember what that ticker was, but as soon as it got there, it dropped. And it happens. It's so consistent,
It is so
in the
consistent.
pre-market is really consistent because there's no volume to keep it going. So if a stock is starting off at $1.10, in my head, I'm like, that stock is not going to $2. Once it
Okay,
gets there,
so
it's,
let's talk about the outlier for a second because what was it? Ticker symbol vape went from like a few dollars to like 100 and something.
I'm not saying it never happens. It just
That's
doesn't
the one
happen.
that
It only
scared me.
happens 5% of the time. That's why I got a 95%. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen that often,
I know. I love scaling. I love the power of
Yeah.
scaling. I've gotten a little unlucky with a few max loss tickers, it sounds like you have too, where they probably worked out, but you were just sizing a little like too early.
Too
So I've
early.
been. Is that similar to what you've been
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, but see, I'll just keep adding, because I start so small. So I know you always talk about the fees and stuff, but I'm never taking them into consideration. I might go in, with 50 shares every 10 cent. Sometimes I'm getting in at, if the stock is $1.50, I will do that, 5 times until it gets to that like $2 mark and can't make it,
I
and
love
then
it. I
it
love
drops.
scaling because it's like
You
you're. It's,
have the money to do it now. We couldn't do it with
yeah,
C Pro, but with Trade the Pool, throw
I
it in
know.
there. You
I
know
know.
it's gonna drop.
Even that competition account, I made like
Oh
five hundred
yeah, you
thousand
killed
on.
that. And I'm like, but you don't trade with this account like that, but you should because it is paper money. I mean, we're not in the market.
I know. I'm wondering if I should. Yeah, I
But
probably should
that's another thing. When I
get
felt
more
that
aggressive.
when I felt that last challenge, I didn't mean I just blew it up. But when I went back, I realized I said, now this is what I'm doing. I finally came to grips with how I was building this position. So I got the $50,000 account to have enough money to do that. Because sometimes I'm building that position, I run out of money and then I'm stuck at that, wherever I am and hoping it's going to come back down at least to break even. But now I have enough money, I can ride a cheap stock all the way up if I want to.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, I
wait
think
for
I'm
that.
at the point where I want to slow scale and ride them up. I mean, even giving them a decent risk because like 200 max loss on the day doesn't really hurt too bad.
No,
If I get
no.
locked out on the day for that.
Especially
So
if you can make, $400 or $500 a day, and you can.
yeah,
You can.
I need to like push on the gas on the green days, get a little more aggressive. Like once you build a cushion on the day, start
Mhm.
start pushing it a little bit. Do you do that?
I do, and I really would force myself because I was such a new trader. I know I needed the repetition, which is why I didn't mind buying another challenge after another. But I would say to myself, I'm going to take 20 trades today, no matter what, long or short, whatever. But if I could do 20 trades and I can make $10 each time, because 10 cent, I'm going to make $200 if I just don't miss any, and if I lose one, I'm going to add one. So I'm gonna come walking away with 20 winning
Yeah.
trades. If I get up at 4 a.m. and stay up until I get it, I would do it. And I've started getting really good at scalping. And so, I it's all a number game to me. It's an average game. So promise
Yeah.
yourself you're gonna take, and you take about 10 trades every day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you could probably take more, and win.
Yeah, today, I kind of forced myself not to take another trade because I'm like, I know I'm wanting to trade and I'm not really
Right.
seeing a whole lot.
By the
But
time at 9:30, it's a little harder to get. I wouldn't be able to get 20 if I came in at 9:30. But starting in pre-market, I was able to get it. But if you get 10, and each time you win, you know, it's $25 or so. You know,
you're
that
convincing me on this
250.
pre-market thing, and I see them every day. I mean, because
It's hard to get up at 4 a.m., but it's so worth it. Like I said, you could go back to bed by 7 o'clock. It's slowing down now because
by
now
the
the
time
new
I'm going
group
to sleep, I'm waking up. It's
by
4
7. There's, like 4 a.m. there's a group, then 7 a.m. there's a group, then 8 a.m. is a group, and
So
then
you're just are you waiting for like those PR releases at those
I
times?
am, I am, and now I'm noticing that there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of news following these tickers.
I know because it's always it's every single ticker is the same like Bitcoin strategy
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
Like
They're
I
all
lost so much money the other day. I was so mad. You was trading it today. REPL, is it?
yeah, like the ticker's not it's not really cooperating.
I
I
don't
mean,
know. That thing went up, and I was in it and riding it up, and it never dropped. And I mean, I was revenge trading at that point because I'm like, why is this stock not dropping? And it never did. I lost big on that, maybe $600-700. But again, those days I lose like that, it really rare. And so if it's only 4 days a month that I do that, then I could be profitable the rest of the month.
hmm
And I look at it on a monthly basis, like a real P&L. So
that's smart. I mean, like, so my month. I mean, I was out a week, but I'm green on the month. I think it's smart for you to say like look at the broader picture because I'm like I'm I'm kind of disappointed that my month isn't greener, but I'm happy to be green. I
right,
mean, just look at it like that because I think sometimes we can get too focused on like how we focus on like the individual candles. We can focus on the individual day.
yep,
It's like let's
yep.
broaden this.
And then you're doing $100 a day average. If you keep that up, you'll be past that challenge by the end of this month, even if you have losing days. Because $100 a day times 20, is $2,000. So you got even 5 days. 4 or 5 days that you can
I
have
know.
losers.
I feel
Yeah. But
man.
you can do better than $100 a day. I know you can. You're a way better trader than I am, and I'm like,
Don't say that.
oh
I mean,
please, I'm.
sometimes I am like, well, I need to get this thing going. But the problem is like the SNGX thing. That's why that's why I'll start them like 50 shares because I'm like, this thing jumps up 4 points like that did, then I'm already at max loss on the day.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
and it
want to
happens,
try.
but it doesn't happen that much.
It
You know,
doesn't happen often. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so like conservative, but
Yeah, you are. And I'm not. And I like the casino. I like gambling before I started trading, and I really had that gambling spirit about me and risk taking, and I'm trying to reel that back in because even when I passed the challenge, I got a payout. They gave me a risk. They sent me an email and said that the risk team did that. I can only buy up to 2,000 shares because of my risk, my risk management, I guess. And once I show they prove that I'm better at risk management, then they'll lift it. So I got a problem with that because I'll jump in with 2,000 shares on something like Mara, MARA, because it's $14, knowing it's going to go up 10 and make $200. But it'd be that one day it drops, or I'm going long on that mostly, and it's just, you just I'll take a risk, you
Yeah.
know.
How do you think? I mean, just talking as traders back and forth. Like, what do you think? How do you think you get to that next level where you're like, I'm gonna size up, and what do different tickers like account for that too? Like, is this ticker a better hand? Do you size
Yeah.
differently per trade, or are you pretty consistent, like a sizing across the board?
Yeah. If it's like the regular market and I'm trading something like Tesla, like I won't trade Tesla, but I'll trade what is it, the ETF, the
Yeah.
TSLA, or I'll do that kind of stuff. And when I'm doing that, I'll do 300 shares flat. But in the pre-market, if the ticker is a dollar, like just made that dollar mark and it goes up to $1.20, I know that ticker is not. It ain't gonna make it to two.
It ain't making
It ain't a poor thing. It ain't gonna make it. And I'll be like, and so I'll ride it all the way, and then I'll start seeing it weak.
Oh, this
And
poor ticker. It's funny because 'cause they're, like, changing companies. They're like,
yeah,
I mean, this company is, like, completely something else, and that's how you know it's not a real company. They're turning
no,
into a Bitcoin company.
exactly. Right? Why would a healthcare company have any interest in Bitcoin? They trying to cure cancer, but they want to buy Bitcoin. I mean, come on, it's like so contradictory.
And then they just re-release all their press releases too.
Yep. And now looking, and it's like now they don't even, some of them don't even have news at all. I got to the point where they just throwing them out there at us. Here, give this to retail.
You know,
They'll
it's funny.
trade it.
I've got caught in that before, especially when I used to long these things, man. Like they come out with a good PR, but that same PR came out 4 months ago.
4 months ago. And if you don't go look at it for it, you
Yeah.
won't find it, and a lot of people don't, and it just goes up. But I know, and I like I said, with those candles that I'm using, that first green candle, I add. So if I already got 200 or 300 shares and I see it weakening at like $1.60, I'll buy 300 more. I'll double my size and it'll just fall
Oh
and
man.
I'll get out. And that's what happened today. Today, and I sent you that picture because that was a perfect day. And I was like, let me get up and stop because I'll continue to trade and then I won't have anything.
You're convincing me.
Yeah.
Might start sizing up, and because I give them like a ton of room, and then like the ones that do turn into the outliers, I shouldn't be
Mhm.
giving them the room because you just keep scaling, and then I just revisited a ticker. It was like CYN 3 weeks ago that I took a $500 max loss on, and
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
was that went from a few dollars to like 20 something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
Like I
what?
said, it happens. But in pre-market, they usually run up and then they'll drop, but they come back up. They always, break that first high. So where I am in it and it drops, they usually go back up. And I should ride it up again because I know that's what it's going to do. And then that's when you guys come in and ride it back down. And it kind of does that all day.
Mhm.
It never goes back to the floor where it started, but that Fibonacci retracement is what I use, and it always comes back down to that 50% mark, guaranteed. And this is where that 95% come in because it's so consistently coming back down to that fib level, and then it'll pop back up, but it always comes back down to that, and it just goes up and down in that range. And I've just started, like I said, the music and the market thing was more of the rhythm of the ticker because they all have one, and I'm trying to catch every sound I can.
Yeah, that was a unique name. I mean, so let's talk about consistency here. What do you think are factors that distinguish consistently profitable day traders from those who struggle to achieve success? Like, if you look back over your journey so far, what do you think has helped you get this payout? I mean, this is huge. I mean, really, this you're among the 10% now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what has gotten you there? What do you think's gotten you there, and what keeps others from getting to that 10%?
I think others quit. It was some days where I just didn't want to. I was like, I'm done. But then I couldn't be done because I love it. And so I'd come back, and after a big loss, it's hard, and I would start another challenge because I didn't want to come out of drawdown. I didn't want to bother with that, so I would get another one, and I just kept going. And then I would kind of challenge myself to not be scared, to size up because I was taking like 25 shares. I would never get a payout doing that. So I started going up to 100 and then 200, and I would take some losses, but I would get some wins. And then I started tracking myself. And like I said, I've got like a calendar that I do. I do it through Canva, and this is my July, and I did 5146 for the whole month.
Really?
Yeah,
5146 for July.
yeah,
Wow, Bernadette, that is so impressive.
yeah. And I started, just keeping track. But I had 4 red days. One day I lost 1077. One day I lost 2188. That was on REPL. And one day I lost 618. And one day I lost 1195. But even in all those days with those big losses, I still profited 5146.
So
So
what's your average green day look like?
I would think about $600 now, but before, because I sized up, with the other account, my average day was probably, I used to have a goal for 475, and pretty much I could make that day.
Yeah, I mean, some
375.
traders don't. I get it to a degree. Like traders are opposed to goals. What do you think? What do you think about goals?
I need them. I mean, I'm a truck driver, and very disciplined as far as the rules of the road, and we got to get to a certain place at a certain time, and so my mind just works like that. P&L, um, profitability. I dose them out. That's my language, and so for me to come to trade and not have that, I have to have a daily goal. Because it keeps me accountable, and I know I can get it. It's in there. All of
Do you
those tickets all day long, we can pull out $100.
exactly? I mean, seriously, it's. I don't know. I gotta get past the point of just breach that level. I think it's like that's such a comfort level that I can easily do it without emotions being involved. Like, you pull back on the sizing and there's no emotions. I mean, it's funny because like even the evals, like I feel like I trade just like it's my money.
You do, and I'm like, why? It's paper.
I
Come
know.
on, Kevin,
I know.
size up. I mean, when you did that challenge, you killed that. You would be richy rich, rich. And then when you got on your regular eval, you kind of got conservative again. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is when you take the risk. Now your C Pro account, you couldn't do that because that was your money. This money is not
Yeah.
yours. So I'm like, practice whatever you got to do. I use this as a field of practice. And even though the losses hurt, they hurt my ego. They didn't hurt my pocket because it wasn't my money. I was out of $100 for the eval. So I get another one. And to me, that was better than losing thousands in C Pro.
And you're already profitable, right? Based on the evals you bought. I mean,
Oh yeah, I definitely got that money back in the 10. That's why I was trying to get 1,500. I probably spent about that on the evals, but I'll
yeah,
get
and you
that.
made
My
it back.
payout next time will be way bigger as long as I stay disciplined. And now I'm serious about that because now it has become real money. You know,
Yeah, it's like click, the light bulb went off. It's like
Mhm.
I can do this.
I can do this. You can make a living with prop firms, which we know that with people that do. I was going to even learn how to do forex or futures or something because I was like, I want to trade someone else's capital, and I didn't know about trade the pool. So I was really looking for some way to switch over and try to learn, the foreign exchange. But I didn't want to because I love the stock market, and that's
Mhm.
how I learned. And so just in my research, just like I found you, I found trade the pool, and I was so happy, and so I didn't mind paying for an eval because I knew it was going to pay off if it was just nothing but practice. But when I get ready to trade my own account now and I turn those numbers into these numbers, then I know I was onto something. So these evals are just evals. If you blow it up, you take another one. You could take a small one if you want. Like I'm trying to get my daughter to do it. Um, she's not interested, but I'm like, don't let me die with this in me. Learn this trade because this is money. This is real, and it's life changing. You know. So
It
that's.
is. Wow. Yeah, so for the traders out there that are like, I can't, I'm struggling to find that edge and consistency. I mean, what do you have for them? What do you think?
Just
How
keep
can they narrow
going.
that in?
Keep going. Use the eval as a practice. Um, your training ground. Don't take it so serious where it's not your account. It's really a training ground where you can get $25,000 to really show what you got, and you learn from it. Because when you lose, you change. Every time I lost an eval, I learned something. and then I came back better, and then I learned something else, and every day I still do. But now, like I said, since I've had the payout and I've really, I feel like I really conquered it now. Now I'm slowing down. I'm pulling back. I'm not going to lose $1,000 a day anymore. So when you see my August, it's going to look way different, than my July and my June. But I am a profitable trader, and it didn't take me years. It took me practice, and that's what I think it takes. I met your guy Kevon, I think his name was.
Mm-hmm.
You had went to the doctor one day, and him and I were chatting, and he was like, "It takes years," and I'm like, "No, I don't have years. I don't have years to do this. Like, I just got off the truck because I hurt my leg, and I want to make six figures because that's what I made on that truck." And I know it's possible because the guy that showed me how to trade 20 years ago was making six figures then. And so here I am in 2025 with all this technology and I can't be profitable. Come on. We can. It's just that you got to be consistent. You got to hold yourself accountable and you got to take a risk, and the evals are easy to do that with because it's not our money. That's just how I see it.
The mind's a powerful thing.
It is.
I think it was Musk who said it's like, give yourself, a month to do something, and that's a task, and that's about as long as it's going to take. Give yourself a day to do it, and you'll accomplish it in a day. I mean, your mind works towards kind of with that quote that I've said, what you picturize, you actualize. Like, focus on it, and your mind like works towards it.
Yeah, look at the 1 minute mile. Nobody thought they could do it, and after the first guy did it, everybody did it after him.
Right.
And I know it's a mind thing because I have to force myself now to get up or don't overtrade or don't revenge trade. It's all mental and emotional, and women are emotional people, especially we get. And I knew I had to reel all of that in, and as soon as I did that, the discipline starts surfacing. But you got Kevin, you're an excellent trader. I mean, I watch you. I can't go through those tickers like that. If I could follow you, I can make a killing because all I need to know is where's the ticker, where's the 200 moving average, where's the 9. I can get in and get out. That's scalping. Anybody could do that. So now I'm trying to learn where the trend is. I'm trying to go back and look at the 15 minute, the 1 day. I'm trying to learn trading now. But scalping, anybody can go in there and get 10 cents. That's why I love Trade the Pool. 10 cents. You can't find 10 cents in 82 5-minute candles. Come on now. Yes, you can. So
man, I'm getting inspired. That 250,000 account sounds nice right about now. I feel like I could scale some winners with that.
Yeah.
Get back
and
to that
50,000 account gives you a little bit more flexibility because I didn't have that when I had that 25K account. That's what changed it for me too. To be able to ride those tickers up. I couldn't really do it with that 25K account because I didn't have enough buying power. But now I do. But I realize that I'm not going to, if the ticker is more than $7, I don't mess with it because I already know I'm not going to be able to ride it up. So I need a ticker that's about $1 to $5. And that
$1.20 is going to be the top.
Oh, the $1.20, I love them. I look at them and I don't care if you go to $4, I got you. And I'll wait and I start small, like with 25 shares, and I just let it go. And then I start seeing it buckle, and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. And I jump in with 300-400 shares, and then every 10 cents, I just add more.
Oh, you're waiting for the buckle?
I'm waiting for the buckle. Yeah, before I add in my full size.
Oh, you'll start adding on the buckle.
I start adding on the buckle. But sometimes that buckle is a pullback. And it'll shoot back up on that second leg, and that's where I have the problem. That's when I should get out, but I'm so stubborn, I add more. And sometimes it works. Most times it does.
How do you do well at sizing like winning trades? Like when you're green on the trade, do you do well at like sizing those? Is that even part of your strategy or
yeah? Like if I can, but when they drop, sometimes they drop so fast you don't get a chance to add anything. So
the elevator down is so quick.
I'm like, damn it! If I had known it was going to do that, then I would have, I would have added 200 more shares or whatever.
Well, in the live stream, I'm sure you've seen it's like I'm about to size into this a little bit, and then boop.
Look, Ross Cameron today lost $44,000 on just that. he went in and he goes in so heavy sometimes and it just drops and he loses massively. And those are the times when he's looking for that pullback to get in and ride it up the second leg or the third leg. And I'm looking for that pullback as a wiggle. It's buckling now and it's going to drop. And sometimes I'm right and sometimes he's right. But most times I'm right because those tickers are not going anywhere. You know, every now and then you get one that's a real company that people are really investing in, but most times it's a piece of junk and it's going to drop. And if it doesn't drop, then when I look at it at the end of the day, it's right back where it started.
I know, man.
Yep.
Like working some of these, the leftovers all day too.
Yep.
Oh man, it's
Mm.
that
It's
would be
sad.
excellent.
Yeah. But if you really, you know, it's a strategy. And he
Mhm.
has a strategy on the upside. You know, he plays that game on the long side because he trades in an IRA and you can't short in the IRA. But if you play that same game in the opposite direction, you could win just as big as him. I believe that. That's what I believe. And so that's what my goal is, to be Ross Cameron in reverse. Short side. So we'll see what happens. I want to make six figures by the end of the year. That's my goal.
You
And I
know what?
start
You know
thinking
what? Did you see what I posted on my YouTube channel? The YouTube channel, the community tab. This picture is so funny. Now that you said that, it said my goal was to make $100,000 this year. I got about $200,000 to go.
Look, you can do it. I know you could because again, you're really good with those tickers and moving back and forth. Like when I get up in the morning, it's hard for me to look at the scanner and know which ones. And so I use Weeble, but I also use the trader pool. And they pop up so quick,
It's
you
a
know.
weird dichotomy. Like I'm very confident in my approach, but I try not to trade confident. Like I try to trade not confident. You know, I try to trade like I don't know what's going to happen here.
But why were you trading like confident like that when you were trading in that competition?
Well, I wasn't initially, but then I saw the leaderboard. You know, I
I
was
know
going,
you
and I was like, "Oh my
you
god,
got
I
so
gotta go
competitive
heavy. I gotta risk a lot here."
to win.
And I mean, but I could have easily blown it up. It was APVO that came out with a stock offering when
Oh, that's true. That's right.
I was short. I mean, I got lucky. I was short 80,000 shares on that ticker as it was
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah. But Kevin,
And
if you blow it up, what did you lose?
yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, how much did the valuation cost?
No, I
I mean,
mean
that's
nothing. It was competition. Yeah, it's
yeah.
nothing.
I mean, but even in your regular one that you trade every day,
Oh yeah, the $100 some. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, come on.
You're right. You know, I need to put some more risk to it. I guess, you know, I'm just by nature, I'm kind of a scared person. Like I don't know. I'm kind of, it's weird. I'm in this trading space, but I'm a little risk averse, and I guess I'm nervous that as soon as I start sizing up, the first ticker is gonna like go against me. You know, and then I'm gonna be immediately like trying to dig out of a hole because I want to not marry anything. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel it. I mean, I need to size up a little bit. But enough about me. This is about you, Bernadette. So we got your interview with Michael that we can review as a team together. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, let's dive into it.
When I went from the offshore account to trade the pool, it was so much freedom. You know, when I was trading with like Weeble and things like that, you only can trade 3 trades a week. And so when I trade the pool every day, I could trade as much as I want. I wasn't used to being able to just kind of trade at any size and any time and pre-market, aftermarket, anything. And so I had to get really disciplined about the freedom that Trade the Pool offered me.
Welcome everybody to another funded trader of Trade the Pool. Today Bernadette is with me, a new funded trader. She's been doing it for a few times already, so we will talk about it and see the progress and the journey she had with us. How you doing? Thanks for coming.
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For sure. So let's start from the beginning, because you've been with us for a while now and you already passed the evaluation a few times, right? You've been trading the funded accounts. Tell us a little bit about how you got into trading and eventually into Trade the Pool.
Okay, well, a friend of mine taught me how to trade many years ago, maybe 25 years ago. just the
Wow.
basic. Yeah, and I did a little bit, and I did pretty good. And then I would, it was hard to keep the account funded at that time, the capital. And so I always knew I loved it and that I would get back to it later. So fast forward, I went and tried to open up an account in December maybe. I was a truck driver and I hurt my leg. So I got off the truck and I said, this is the perfect time for me to really throw myself in and start seeing if I can make a living doing this. And
Yeah.
I started trading a small account offshore, and it was just really hard to keep it funded, and it was a small account, so the fees and all those type of things got in the way of that. And so I was looking, I kept hearing people talk about prop firms, but I never saw a prop firm for stock. And I didn't know much about Forex, anything, but I was starting to believe that I was going to have to learn how to trade Forex in order to use a prop firm. And so I just went in a deep dive and started researching and came across the 5%ers. And I spoke to one of the customer service people, and she told me about Trade the Pool and told me that I would be allowed to trade stocks. So I was super excited just because of the idea of more capital and more freedom. The PDT rule is always a problem if you don't have $25,000 to trade with. And so I'm super excited to know that I can have, a funded account up to $25,000 without risking my own capital.
Yeah, and it's incredible because when you trade in a small account, let's say even $5,000, and you're making 10%, it's still nothing to compare
Right.
to what you can do with a bigger account. And I mean, the same 10% that you're making on a 5K, if you make it on a 50K, you finally can breathe and actually
Right.
make a very nice living, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So you've been trading with us for how long?
Since April.
Since April, and you already got funded a few times, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
was going to say that I think what happened when I went from the offshore account to Trade the Pool, it was so much freedom. When I was trading with like Webull and things like that, you only can trade 3 times a week, 3 trades a week. And so
Yeah.
when I Trade the Pool every day, I could trade as much as I want. And I think I just got a little crazy. And so I would do well, and then I would just blow it up. And, I wasn't used to being able to just kind of trade, at any size and any time, and pre-market, aftermarket, anything. And so I had to get really disciplined about the freedom that Trade the Pool offered me and try to reel myself back in.
Yeah, it's amazing what you're saying, because on one hand, we do give the freedom to do literally almost whatever you want with your trading. On the other hand, sometimes freedom can be, a barrier, right?
Right. It takes a long
Yeah.
time to just develop some boundaries and, kind of find where my edge was. And that took a while, and it was frustrating really in the beginning,
Amazing. And as you mentioned before we started the recording, it's a process, right? It's a journey that you're going through. Even after you reach the funded phase, even when guys are reaching the payout phase as well, you're still always learning and developing your skills, right?
That's exactly right. And I thought once I got funded, I was going to be smooth sailing, and it's just not that easy. You still got to be able to manage yourself in spite of having the freedom and the capital. It's not really about that afterwards, because you realize if you can't manage yourself, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're not going to be profitable.
And what is it that you do, when you understand already, okay, I know how to become a funded trader, now I need to improve. On what level? What are you looking to improve?
Yeah, I was trying to size up. As soon as you get funded, now you want to size up because you want to pay out. And that was just the wrong way to look at it. And I should have kept doing what I was doing from the beginning. But, you get in there, and then you just see opportunity. And, if it doesn't go your way, if you're in there with a large amount of shares, then that just takes you right out. And that's what happened to me. I was starting off real small, and then I went up in size, and the trade went against me, and it just take me right out in a matter of minutes. So that's been my biggest problem. And in the pre-market, you don't have, you can't do the stop. You have to manually take your stop loss, and then you start thinking, oh, maybe it'll come back around, and it's just all the mindset of believing that trade is going to turn around for you, and just
And when it doesn't, it just takes you out.
Yeah, I remember when I started, and started to build my, like you said, sizing up. And instead of going from 100 shares to 200 shares, I went from 100 to 1,000. And obviously, I definitely blew up there.
Yeah.
But then when you realize you need to do it chunk by chunk, right? One step at a time instead
Right.
of just going all in. And then you really find in your rhythm.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a
So
good one. So
And that's been my biggest issue. Even today, I just get in and get like I got this, and I go in too big, and then when it goes against you, you could be in there for small size and still blow up your account. You really could if it just shoots up for news comes out, anything can change everything.
yeah, it's for sure. This is definitely one of the main issues, the main mistakes traders do when they trade, just sizing up correctly. And for those of you listening, we got a few funded traders that talked about it on their interview, like Michael T. and also Arbner, so you can definitely check them out.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty, I'm gonna share my screen and show you a dashboard for the guys at home. Each trader gets his own dashboard once you sign, so you can, track your stats, see the progress. Okay, so this is your account. Basically, you're trading 50K account. This is the funded account already, so already passed the evaluation, got to the funded phase, the 50K. A profit target is basically you need to reach a $5,000 or 10% in order to scale the account. Every time you reach a 10% target, you can actually get more buying power and more daily allowance, daily loss allowance, the daily pause, the max loss, the daily pause. And you had a nice run straight from the beginning, right? You reached the 52 mark, 52,000, so $2,000 in profit. And a drop, like you mentioned before, when, one trade, and we will talk about your trading in a second, but one trade can actually cost you the entire account or a lot of the profits, right?
Yeah.
Same goes here. So let's talk a little bit about your trading style in this case.
Okay. So basically, I trade pre-market, and I try to do, because I was so new to trading, and I try to get up at 4 a.m. and get in front of the computer, and I'm doing these pop and drops. And so what I started realizing was I used to try to go long with them, but it was almost impossible, because as soon as they go up, I noticed that they would drop down so fast I would lose. So that's actually how I learned how to short. And I didn't even know how to short in April. And so then I came back around, and I started realizing that at 4 a.m. I could get up early, and I could get in and kind of build a position. And then when the drop would come, I would really be profitable. But when that one turns against me, then it can just knock me out for the whole day.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's amazing, because your numbers is crazy, right? The 0.1 on the risk reward, so it's very negative. On the other end, it's actually 95% success rate. It's without the zero, 95% success rate. And also looking at the advanced statistics, lots of trading, right? Like I said, a lot of like you mentioned, short trades, most of them 60 trades out of 62.
Right.
Average profit is way lower than your average losses, we just saw on the risk reward.
Right.
So you're going very nicely in, but taking a very small profit comparing to when it's not going your way. Like I just saw this trade, for example, GCTK. So you tried it, but when it popped, you actually lost $1,000 on it, right?
Right.
What's the strategy here? How do you decide when to cut the loss?
My whole idea is that, scalping, and if I can do a certain amount of scalps a day, then I can average a certain amount per day. So if I scalp 20 and at one point it was like $10 or $20, I knew I can have a $200, $300 day. But when that one goes against me, like that was actually today, it moved so fast I couldn't get out. And then when I looked at it, I still believe that it was going to go back. When I'm using the Fibonacci retracement, so I was feeling like it was coming back down, but I just could, you can't time it. And so I actually went back in and wrote it back down and was able to come out of drawdown a little bit more. But I really need to get better with my stop loss, because when I lose big.
Yeah, and you know what? I can relate to some of what you're just saying because when I'm trading a lot of my success rate is pretty high, not 95, but around the 85% from time to time, and I get that my risk reward is a good one, but still, when I'm losing, I can easily lose more than I'm winning, right?
Which
On
on a
that,
monthly, I try to look at it on a monthly basis. If I'm making $300-400 a day and then I lose $1,000 just 2 or 3 times a month, I'm still profitable. But I
exactly.
just pull myself back in where I'm not losing. But I really should be putting a stop loss in after market, and not losing as much as 100, maybe $100, but not 1,000. That's just. But that's again me being reckless because I never had the opportunity, with the freedom to be able to do that. I would have stopped if it was my money on my account, I would have stopped out and just took the
Hmm.
loss. But because I really always felt like I got a little bit more flexibility, I just stayed too long.
Yeah, like we said, you're getting the freedom to do it. On the other end, you still need to control yourself and actually stop yourself from losing that day. I mean, we do have the daily pause to protect you on this one, and this is also something
Right.
that a
That's
lot
right.
of the traders really, most of our funded traders will say this is by far the most important element that we have, besides the funding, of course. The fact that
Mhm.
you know, you stop for the day, and no matter what, you're good for the next day, right?
You're right. Right. I like that.
Yeah,
So
amazing. So what's next? How are you going to handle? Let's talk about this issue because it's interesting. I'm sure for the guys that listen in as well, and of course, just to work on that. How are you going to
mhm.
handle the fact that those trades from time to time will hit you strong in this case?
Yeah, I'm just after today, I'm just like, this mistake is just so common for me. I'm not gonna size up. I'm just gonna go in with my regular amount of trades, which is usually like 300, and try to stay there. And then if I'm
Were you being honest there?
no, I was lying. I'm gonna do better, but again, the $1,000 days, the $1,000 losses, I know I can't go over $1,000, but I shouldn't be doing that. But I gotta. I mean, I'm human.
Yeah, let's look at this chart a little bit. I mean, I get the strategy. Because the losses are so few and far between.
Right.
Um, like when they do come, that's part of the edge. I mean, they're
Right.
going to be a little larger. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like maybe, like we talked about earlier, maybe reduce what that loss is going to look like, on your daily
Mhm.
drawdown. But otherwise, it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't. He really couldn't say much because when you add it all up, it's true. If I have a $6,000 a month and I got $3,000 losses and I still came out with $3,000 that month. So that's how I started looking at it. But that's not a trading type of way to look at it. That's really I'm going to say civilian, but that's really like a regular job type of way to look at P&L. As
Mhm.
long as you're profitable, but
Right.
that's
Well, you're focused on the profits, not necessarily like anything else. Not the risk reward, which is 1 to 0.1. Not
yeah,
the,
yeah, that one that's trade talk, 1 to 2 and 1 to 3,
yeah.
whatever they.
Who
But for
cares?
me,
You made $5,000 on the month. Who cares?
yeah, for me,
You're
right? Because
working.
I don't know I didn't know the trading language or their rules that I didn't follow them, and so I'm like, well, $1,000 today, but I'll get out by the end of the week. I'll still be profitable, even if I'm had $1,000 loss today.
Yeah,
But if I make $500 the other 4 days, I'm still $1,000 up for the week. At the end of the month,
I
that's
think
four
you
grand.
are.
I could do 4 grand.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean that's so. Yeah, even 5K in the month. I think you can pull 50, 60K. Like right now, you're proving that on the
yeah.
year, and you
But
want to hit the
I
six
mean, it's
figures.
silly. Once I learned that, if I cut my losses down, then my profit is larger. That makes sense. So I won't have $1,000 losses anymore because it's stupid. I can really minimize them now because I realize that every 14 days I'm taking money out, and
Hmm.
I want it to be as much as possible. So I'm
And now
gonna
you're
really
focused on that. I mean, but yeah,
Exactly.
that separates you. You're now focused on the money, not what's my risk reward. What because people put too much significance on that. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. I mean, if you're making 5,000 in a month, what does it matter? What,
right.
what does it
So,
matter? Because yeah, most if you put that up, if most traders saw that, they would think not highly of it. Probably.
oh, they talk. I mean, he couldn't say much because the numbers are the numbers, but he didn't like it, and that's why they put that 2,000 share max on me because they really capping what I can make. And when you think about it, because I already have a max loss, so they're not afraid of loss because they know I can't lose but so much. But I can win a lot with that kind of strategy because they know those shorts are gonna drop. They're gonna drop, and I know it. And I might go in the drawdown in that stock. I've seen it go up to $1,000 and come all the way back now where I'm profitable 40, $50. I'm happy because I knew that was gonna happen. But somebody else looking at it look like that's crazy. But is it in pre-market with those pop and drops? It's really not.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
couldn't convince him of that, and I wasn't gonna try to do that in that interview. But I done watched them long enough to see the rhythm of them. Now, do
Yeah,
I
you
lose
got the
some?
music in the
I do.
market.
Yep. I lose some, but I win some.
You win a lot.
So
MG
now,
said,
my percentage is
uh,
not sustainable. It'll be, like now I think it's 85. So, it'll probably be around 75, 80. But
right. MG saying you're playing it smart. If you lose 1K one day, but I mean, you're making 500 every other day, so be it. I mean, you're going to lose. Some days you might lose double your average day.
yeah.
I think that's fair. I think
And I
that's
saw
really
an old man. It's some guy. I got to go back and look at this video again. He's the one that said it. He does a box theory. And he said he boxes price in. He used to be in insurance, and so he boxed the price in, and so he rides the price up. But he only gets to do it 4 boxes. Once it goes over that 4 box, he gets out. But he's doing 4x, so I wasn't really understanding like how he was able to know it was 4 boxes, but I understood his concept, and so I started doing the same thing with the fib because that stock, even if it doesn't drop back down to the beginning or the bottom, it's gonna retrace 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet money on it every day, But I'm telling you, you start looking at it and just even when in regular market hours, it retraces. That's what you did
Mm.
today. And you put that fib on it and you will see it'll hit the top. It'll probably make a new high, but not much. And then it's coming right back now to that 50% mark. I promise you. That's what they do.
Bernadette, you got me inspired. I think I'm sizing up next week.
Yeah. Kevin, you're good. I mean,
It,
I see you every day. I watched you, and I was like, once I can learn, like when you were talking about the 200 moving average, I know that's important because now I have it on my chart, and it bounces off of that all the time.
all
It
the time.
bounces off the 9, the VWAP. I mean, as long as you know where it's gonna bounce, that's when you size up and you start seeing it wobbling. Add on to it.
I know. I mean, the conviction gets real. That's the dangerous part for me. I'm like, I have seen this, like your consistency shows, the 95%. I've seen this work 95% of the
That's
time,
right.
and
That's
I
right.
want to lean into it and
Yeah.
risk, pretty much full risk on this
Yeah,
because I've
yeah.
seen it work so many times. I'll take the max loss if it doesn't work out.
Right.
Uh,
That's what I wanted to tell Michael. Michael, that 95% is not my 95%. 95% of the time, those stocks do that.
yeah.
I'm in each one of them. Sometimes I'm in every one of them before the day is out. And each one of them do it. Maybe one
Yeah.
will go ahead and make, like that REPL, whatever. I don't even understand how that stock is still $6 or whatever it is. But it is. It doesn't have any news. It has a class action lawsuit against them. It's manipulation. Somebody is holding that stock at that price while they go through that lawsuit or whatever. And there's no reason for that stock not to be $1.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, and there's so many irrationalities in the market, and ultimately we just have to trade the price action
Yeah. Yeah.
of what they're really doing, what they're actually doing,
And
and
that's just part of the 5% because but that other 95% now, you can make a killer.
I used to say, when you're consistent, just throw an extra zero on the end of your order, you're going to be making more money. But starting next week, I think rather than the extra zero, I'm just going to go from I'm just going to double up double up 100, 200, and go from there. I'm gonna start making some money. You got me inspired. You're doing
Good.
so well,
Yeah.
and we're gonna up the quota, maybe a couple $100 a day,
Yeah.
and go from there. Once we get a cushion on the count, we will
Especially
increase.
since you got the max loss on yours for 200. You can't lose more than 200, so you're good. Why not
Yeah.
make 200 every day?
Right.
And
Right.
I
So
know
what
you.
are some of your now I mean have you is there like an epiphany moment? You've got the payout, is like the aha moment for you moving forward?
Yeah.
Are you focused on, man, every 14 days this is my job. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
getting paid now from this.
Yeah. That really was what my dream was when I started. I wanted to replace my income on that truck and make six figures, and I really want to do that. So every 14 days, that's my goal. I believe trading can pay your bills because I've seen people do it. And I know it doesn't take years to get there. I know it doesn't. If you learn and you really throw yourself in and you stay disciplined, this is all a mind game. And that's where
Yeah,
I see it. I'm gonna
you
pull
got it.
myself in. I wasn't playing. I'm not gonna have $1,000 losses anymore because I know once it goes, I'm losing $100. I'm just gonna jump out because I can always get back in. I don't understand myself. Why am I holding on when I can get out and still get in when it starts wavering again?
Right.
So that's what I think I learned talking to Michael. You know that I can get back in that stock. So
Yeah, I think ultimately, like for the newer trader, it's just they. I mean, even the older ones. Some guys that have been doing this for decades and still haven't figured it out. It's a lack of certain. I mean, they just haven't quite adapted or evolved, or
it's fear, and I understand that when you got real money, but trade the pool's money. I mean, come on, this is paper. This is like paper trading. You paying $100 to paper trade, and you saw what you did when in the challenge. So I know you could do that with with the regular account. It's just the fear. This is not your money. So I had to really put that in my head. I lost money before. When I had my Webull account, I lost money and CPRO. And this is not that. So if I blow a $25,000 account, I didn't blow $25,000. I lost $100 or 100 whatever it is,
Yep.
$20. But I can stand that.
This is too good.
You can stand to lose $120 a month until you can make $300 a day. That's how I looked at it. I might lose $120 on this evaluation, but I'm gonna make $300 a day and I'm gonna spend that money with Trade the Pool instead of CPRO because this is practice, and I could practice as much as I want. I could blow up as much as I want because I get a chance to do it again tomorrow, and I still can pay my bills because I'm not taking bill money and mortgage money and whatever to do it. This is paper, and you just got to look at it like that. You blow up that account, you get another one. You blow up your real account, it's not so easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's an additional pressure there for me. I'm like, I've been doing this for a while. I don't want to have to get multiple accounts. I don't know.
Right.
I want to prove that I can do this with one.
Then
This.
you can. But for me, being new, that was my mindset. You
Yeah.
you don't have to get multiple accounts. You are good enough that you could pass that challenge by the end of this month, easy. Even at $100 a day.
Well, we're going up at 200 starting next week.
Yeah.
But
Pre-market is where it's at, guys. 4
We're going-
a.m. is hard to get up. I'm not lying. Sometimes I get up and I'm so tired, but I know I got to be in front of that computer at 4 because I promise you, all of those stocks pop up just like one after the other one, and they go up and they go down and they go up and they go down, and it's so easy. By 7 o'clock, when my daughter gets up, she works from home. She sits to her desk, and I don't have nothing to do for the rest of the day because if I keep trading, of course, I'm gonna lose what I got.
man, imagine like starting the opening. I mean, I know you're done by the opening bell, but starting the opening bell up, your quota on the day.
Yeah,
That's
today
sweet.
was a perfect day, And so now I think what I'm gonna do is get another account with Trade the Pool, a swing account, because I want to be able to swing some of these overnight and trade some of the biggest, the like Teslas and Nvidias and stuff like that. But that's my goal is to have two accounts, a swing and my regular account, and trade a little bit in my personal account too at CPRO.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I plan on making a living trading.
You got multiple accounts going on. I like it.
Yeah, I got a CPRO account because I saw you, and but I lost money on that because I'm new. I'm not a real experienced trader. So with CPRO, it wasn't easy to keep that account funded. You want to at least have margin, and it just wasn't working. Those fees, everything. And so with Trade the Pool, you don't have to worry about paying for shorts. You could short anything you want.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the beauty
That is
of
my
it.
absolute favorite thing. Now, I know Michael said people love, the fact that obviously they have the buying power of 25,000, 50,000,
Yeah,
100,000. I love that too, but I love absolutely every ticker being available. I mean,
yeah.
it is great. That is a great
C
thing.
Pro, you gotta what do you call it? Search for it, or you
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta locate. You gotta
locate
locate
it.
the ticker
Yeah, I
so
mean,
there's
it's like, and some
absolutely
of
no
them are
leakage.
expensive, and so Trade the Pool. When I talked about the freedom, it's a lot of freedom, and I don't mind paying $120 for all that freedom. And if I spent $2,000 on Trade the Pool to get to make it $500 a day, and I can make six figures at the end of the year, do I care about those evaluations that I didn't pass? I don't even remember them.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, fades MG. So next week we're gonna be sizing up. We're gonna be
Yeah.
sizing up, team. So we
I'm,
got
I'm
we
gonna
got a little.
stay up and try to trade with you guys some mornings, but like I said, most times I go back to bed. But I'm gonna try to do some swing trading now, so I'll
Okay.
get up and trade on a different Trade Pool account next week.
The fun
That's
just
what I'm gonna
beginning.
do with my 1050. I'm gonna buy another evaluation for a swing account.
That's excellent. I mean, now you're making money. So every 14 days, you're getting
Yeah, yeah.
you can pull out.
Yeah, and I love their platform because where it says achievements, once you pass the evaluation, they give you that certificate, and then all your payouts will be there. So I like them. I really do. I think they're honest, and I was kind of worried, because even when I told you about it, and I was like, this guy's not gonna believe me. I'm just somebody, commenting in his comments on his YouTube channel, but I saw you on C-Pro, and I'm like, boy, he could get the killer game with Trade the Pool, and so I'm glad you gave it a shot at least.
Yeah, so far so good. The green team is going up. We're
Yeah, yeah, I'm
going up.
glad to be a part of it. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for the team. Mr. Bob in the building too. Bob's on the way up too. Yeah, I think it's important. Like these evals, like you guys that are blowing up, they're at personal capital. It's
It's terrible.
give, yeah, because you lose the motivation, you lose your capital. It's like
Mhm.
you can come over here, trade the pool,
Yeah.
and minimize that risk.
Yeah,
Minimize
and
that
that was
risk.
practice, especially with the PDT rule going away next year, and you'll be able to be in a real account and have the margin, and you can trade as much as you want. By then, I'll be really good, and I'll consider myself a profitable trader, and I'll take advantage of a regular account, at that point, because the offshore account is nice, but I don't know, all the fees and the
Yeah,
fees, you know.
it's just fees on fees.
Mm,
So, green team, we're going to ask Bernadette for her last piece of advice here, but I want you guys to write out a number because we're going to be doing a giveaway of a $5,000 eval for Trade the Pool, so that way you can be working your way towards a payout, as
yeah.
Bernadette just did. So, we'll do a number between just 1 and 20. Make sure it's not the same number as somebody else. 1 to 20. If you don't have a Trade the Pool account, give some of those guys an opportunity that may not have a Trade the Pool account. Just type a number out. We'll do the giveaway. Or maybe everybody has a Trade the Pool account in here. If everybody has a Trade the Pool account in here, I'll have to do the giveaway a separate. Reef Freddy, do you have a Trade the Pool account? Yeah, for those that don't have a Trade the Pool account, type something out there. But right now, we're going to get into Bernadette's piece of advice for the trader that is going to be stepping into Trade the Pool. So, Dink Bink, Reef Freddy, yeah, 1 to 20. Go ahead for those jumping in here now. 1 to 20, put a number down there if you don't have a Trade the Pool account.
Bob said he blew us up.
If you don't have one, it's just going to be for those that don't have one that are in here. So that may minimize the amount of people that could get it. So We got Refreddy and Dink Bink. Anybody else that doesn't have a Trade the Pool account, let us know. But while we're waiting, Bernadette, advice, single piece of advice, most important piece you think you could offer the newer trader.
The newer trader, keep going. Keep going. Develop I think having a daily goal is important, especially with the trade the pool, because you just got to get 10 cent. 10 cent. That's it. So you can get in the trade and get 10 cent. And you do that two times a day, even if you got the small account. And you do that consistently for a month, and you've passed your evaluation. Even with some losses.
Mm-hmm.
So just be consistent. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Hold yourself accountable. This is money. You could get paid. That this is for real. You could change your life with trading, whether you would trade the pool or not. It's just discipline, consistency.
Absolutely. I want to get to something you just said here. For those that are just now jumping in here, type a number out. Refreddy, Dink Bink, and those that just now joined in, 1 to 5. 1 to 5. We're going to change it. 1 to 5. Because a lot of people already have Trade the Pool accounts. 1 to 5. Type your numbers out. And this is the 5K account giveaway. Yeah, Bernadette, you said earlier something that was interesting, that you think a lot of traders, they end up not really making it because they ultimately give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a lot of traders that used to trade that won't touch it now.
You know what I find fascinating? That is, like, it doesn't really matter how smart you are. I've seen some of the most brilliant people trade, but they cannot figure it out. They stop trading. I mean, it doesn't take IQ power. It takes a lot of everything else, really.
Yeah. It takes, you got to be, you have to have some, I don't know, courage, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't be scared of it.
Especially to be shorting into the euphoric moves,
Yeah.
taking the opposite side of the trade.
Yeah. I have a cousin that trades Forex, and he came one day watching me trade, and he was seeing those big days, and he was saying he was just so upset with me. Like, how could you sit there and lose $1,000? What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you wouldn't drive your truck that way. You wouldn't be reckless driving your truck. So could act like this is your truck. And it made sense because I wouldn't. And so now, I'm really serious about making those losing days a lot smaller, because it is, it'll increase my profit. And I'm not a reckless person. I just, I like to have fun. I think trading is fun, but this is money, at the end of the day. Once you're funded, it's real. It's real. So anybody that gave up, and they know how to trade, I just encourage them to stick with it, because you just got to get over yourself, get past your own.
I think it was hard up until this point because you didn't have equity prop firms. I mean, you did not.
This is true.
Yeah. You had people blowing up their personal $25,000 PDT accounts and then throwing 5,000, 10,000 offshore. And
yeah.
And then it's easy to knock yourself out of the game. It really is. I mean, we've talked about before how we've seen very disciplined traders make large mistakes to knock themselves out, and they may be great traders.
Yeah, of course. I think so.
But sometimes we're prone to just human error. All of us make mistakes, and it happens.
This strategy that I'm doing, I definitely wouldn't be doing it with my own. I wouldn't have done it with my own capital. I said that because it's risky. Messing with those penny stocks is dangerous anyway. And I don't think I would be that aggressive with my own. I wasn't, and I still blew up my own personal account plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't. It was small size, so even when I was taking a loss, I wasn't losing, my life savings. But I know some people do, and my heart really aches for them. So I'm happy about Trade the Pool. I think it's a great way.
Love it.
To show you what you got.
Trade the Pool's fairly new, and the green team, we're on board.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a really beneficial, fruitful partnership with them moving
Yeah.
forward, and to help out the newer trader. Because I honestly, I I was lacking hope for a lot of the newer traders, prior, because I know inevitably most are going to be losing their money when they start trading. So
Yeah.
I
That's what this Friday night was about. The first time I saw you Friday night, everybody was talking about the losses and drinking. And I was like, what a great idea. You could come and kind of cry about what happened during the week. And I was with Trade the Pool at the time, but I was more so trading in C Pro. And the feeds just got away from me. And it was depressing. And it was like, damn, I'm never going to be able to, make a living doing this. And so I knew I needed a prop firm. That's why I was like, I'm going to switch over to Forex if it kills me. I'm just going to have to learn, the exchange or whatever, futures, whatever it is. Have no idea what it is even. But I was going to learn because I knew I needed capital. And when I came across Trade the Pool, I was like shouting from the rooftop, hey, everybody, look. And that's why when I saw you, I was like, this guy could make a killing in Trade the Pool because, that C Pro account was just too small. You just got to have capital.
Mhm.
You know.
Wise words. Wise words. All right. Dink Bink. Dink Bink, you're the winner. You're the only one paying attention. All right. Send me your email, averydaytrading@gmail.com. And congratulations. You'll be having a $5,000 account to get started.
That's
and
exciting.
Welcome to Trade the Pool.
Yeah. And for $5,000, I think you only need $300. So you could get that in a week.
To get funded. Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's doing that now. And she just, she looks at this chart and it's like foreign to her. She's like, this is ridiculous. She doesn't understand any of it.
I remember pulling up like Thinkorswim for the first time so many years ago and being like, this is a different world. I don't even know what's going on here.
I know, but it doesn't take long to learn.
It doesn't.
I didn't know what shorting was. I didn't know what shorting was in April. And that's all I do now.
And now all you do, I'm telling everybody, and I know the green team mainly shorts, but once you get to shorting, there's pretty much no turning back.
It's not. And we could really take like we know once it shorts out, it's going back up. Like for me, for sure, I know it's gonna make a new high. Between the time I'm trading at 4 a.m. and the time you get there, it's gonna make a new high. I could ride the long up because I know it's coming, but I don't because I just like it's just too easy to short it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too easy.
It is, especially when you have to locate.
Mm-hmm.
They just act differently. I don't know the personality of those tickers. I mean, because the most mornings I'll pull them up and I look at, I review pretty much what happened in pre-market, and they're all doing the same thing, straight up, straight down.
They are. By the time you come, so much money has been made, with it going up and down. And even more can be made, but it's just easier in pre-market.
There'll hardly be anybody in the stream. It might just be like a few of us.
But at 4 a.m. But I'm telling you, it doesn't even have to be at 4, but because between 4 and 5 is when I make the money. But at 6 and between 7 and 8 is again, it starts popping again.
We're gonna start hopping on a little earlier and get the show going because I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, this you've motivated me.
Good.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is
thank you. You're a big motivation too. I mean, these gurus out here, they charge a ton of money. You pay all that money and you still don't know what the hell you're doing. I was watching Ross Cameron. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm paying, whatever, $150 a month to watch him, and he's great. But I can't do that.
I have a passion for. I just don't. I don't know. It's a weird, like maybe God-given passion. I don't want to charge anything. I just love helping traders out, talking trading, and want to see people succeed. I mean, I want to see the green team succeed really more than me. I mean, I
do too. I do too. I think
passion of
mine. A good channel, honest channel where there isn't nobody trying to get you to go into Discord, and everybody's got something going on. Pay to be a part of the private group, and I don't know. Maybe they making money. I don't know, but I don't know why it has to cost so much money to learn. You know.
It doesn't. Welcome to the green team.
Yeah, appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the green team. Yeah. All right, guys.
You guys this year. We could do it.
We can do it. The green teams, we're going to have, let's have a 6-figure year green team
Let's do it.
collectively. I don't know. It might August. How much time I got left? August.
You got time. You got time.
5 months. I got to just dream a little bigger. You know, I got a little
Yeah.
quote on the wall, Bernadette, that says, it's from Walt Disney. It says, it's kind of fun to do the impossible.
It is.
I can't, like Bernadette, I've tried to do the 9 to 5. I can't, like, this is my world. This is my world here.
Well, let the world pay you because the money is here. Every day I look at tickets in the 5-minute chart. It's 82 tickets, I think. I mean 82 candles. 82 candles and I can't make $100. That's how I started talking to myself. 82 candles in a 5-minute time frame. Come on. You know you could pull $100 out of that.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the day when you look at the entire day. You see where you could have got in and out. So the next day you already know what the range is. And that's what that guy taught me. He taught me range trading. And I'm gonna go in and extract at least $100 a day out. But I want to extract 1,000, 10,000. You know?
Oh, yeah, I've known traders that do that.
Yeah.
10,000. And really it's about like this is a weird concept, Bernadette. It's very strange, but you have to like detach yourself from the money.
Right.
You're just trading the chart with a different size
Right.
of shares. I mean, but you're trading the chart. Like money is really a byproduct of the result of the trade. You're not focused on the money, but
Right. And with Trade the Pool, you can really not be focused on the money because it's digital money. You know, it's not real.
it's that Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what it's not even Bitcoin. It's like Dogecoin.
It's like that. Does anybody have any questions for Bernadette before we wrap up this the live stream here? Again, congrats, Dink Bink. Go ahead and send over the your email, and I'll walk you through the process. I'm catching up on chat though. No, we've had some blow ups in here, but guys, we learn in the drawdowns. I mean, Bernadette went over that. The big losses we learn from. Good to see Emmanuel in here too, and Keith and Bob. We got the Friday night crew in here. But yeah, I mean, I'll leave the mic open for you, Bernadette. I mean, anything you'd like to add here at the end of value, you think, to the newer trader?
Yeah, no, just keep at it. Just keep at it. Push yourself. You know, the repetition. You got to trade. You can't learn if you're not trading. You know, so jump in and try to get 10 cents.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
try to get your 10 cents from Trade the Pool.
Yeah.
So Bernadette, I'm so thankful that you jumped on here with me. I mean, you did it. You didn't even hesitate. You're like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I asked you, hey, let's do a Friday night live stream. Let's celebrate. I want to celebrate the green team.
I love it. I mean, I've watched you and I've made money. You know, because you're like a quarterback to me. When you switching tickers, I didn't know where to go find a trade. You'd be like, let me find you a trade. And when you weren't talking to me, I was watching and I heard you saying like, let me find a trade for you. And so it taught me like to flip through the tickers and stuff. I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah, I think really I flip so much. I'm like the Chart Master 5000. I like to flip because I'm trying to like convince myself not to get too involved with one because
right.
there's so many out there. I mean, we talked about that earlier. Repetition is key. That's the edge. The edge is in the repetition. These casinos make so much money on poker and blackjack through repetition. They're not so focused on one hand at the table. So that's what I'm trying to do myself. Like, I really like this ticker and I do want to oversize it, but Kevin. I mean, don't do it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like a
Even like the REPL this morning, it had a nice 5-day
be,
definitive cycle.
be careful with that thing.
Yeah, I
You
really, that was one of my favorite tickers, and that is the only thing that I stopped out on this morning. I mean, that was one of my favorite tickers, and I really kept the sizing consistent. So that's what I try to do. Even if I like it a lot, let's try not to oversize anything, because ultimately our expectations need to be zero. If expectations are a visual representation of what we think is going to happen in the market, and we got to stop putting that on. We got to stop having expectations.
Yeah.
It's a strange concept. We got to say we don't know what's going to happen next.
We don't. Like I said, I think I see something wobbling and it's getting ready to drop. Next thing I know, it's taking up a second leg.
Off.
Yeah.
Stop out. Yeah, because there's been so much trappy action where this looks weak and then poof, right back up to the new highs.
Yeah.
Perfect Falls. His song said it perfectly.
Oh, I love the songs. That was they were amazing.
That was great. Oh my goodness. That was excellent. Yeah, so let's focus on that moving forward for next week. I don't know, Bernadette, like I feel like I'm getting into trading, like I age quicker because the weeks just fly by. I don't want the weekend to get here.
I know this weekend I'm like, dang, I had such a good day today. And not just because I was profitable, because I really do good every day, but because I didn't take a big loss. Like I got out at $15 loss, and that's what I got to do. And I was proud of myself about doing that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take those big losses anymore. And, once I get that under control, then I'll, because, most of the time I'm in one trade at a time. I can't even do what you do. Like I seen you today, you were in 3 different trades. I could never do that because I'm just not fast enough. And I don't want to get caught in one. And then, especially in pre-market, because I got to manually stop out. So I don't want to lose one and trying to gain another one. So I try to just trade.
I think it's the series of trades. I mean, I try to focus that. Just need to get sized up, but series of trades is the focus, not individual trades. MG said, "Well done, Bernadette." Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Green team. You're the first, right? First to get a payout here.
Yeah.
Bernadette, nice job. Keith said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Green
you
team.
guys. Yeah. Everybody can do it. Trust me. Everybody can do it.
So it doesn't sound like you're in over your head. I mean, you're level-headed. You're here.
Yeah. I mean, I just know it could be done because I see people doing it, and I just don't believe that anybody's smarter than anybody else. I just think that, if you just get in, find your niche. My niche just happened to be 4 a.m. And so it's not easy getting up, but I know if I do, I'll do better that day.
Mm-hmm.
So just find what works for you.
Absolutely. All right. Bob said, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bob, we're looking forward to getting you back in here too. You're taking a little break, and you'll be back here soon. So we're excited to have you back, Bob. We've missed you in the green team, but Bernadette, last word goes to you. Then we'll wrap up our Friday night live stream.
Let's keep at it. Let's make a living trading.
Make a living trading. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Green team. Let's get there Monday morning. We're gonna start it off, and we're gonna start a good green week and keep that trend going in the right direction. The biggest thing I've seen from all the traders, everybody's got a great strategy, but you got to focus those losers.
Yeah,
we've got to focus the losers, traders. Yeah. You play good defense, and the offense takes care of itself. Yeah. So, Bernadette, thank you again so much.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So nice to meet you. And,
you too. And we'll definitely
morning.
trade together. Okay.
4 a.m. I expect big things out of you on Monday morning.
We'll see perfectly.
All right. Take care.
You too.